Hey guys, I'm here. Today's video is another installment in our series where we look at scary stories from around the world. This story comes from the United States. It was submitted to me by its author. Let's begin. The old stone house had been a steal. That's what Sarah and Mark told everyone. Nestled on a windswept hill just outside of town, with ivy crawling up its rough gray walls and a neglected garden, it was the perfect fixer-upper for the young couple. They saw past the peeling paint and the sagging floorboards, dreaming of a cozy home filled with life and light. But the house had a history, and it was not happy to be fixed. The first oddity was a distinct sweet scent, like forgotten jasmine perfume, that would linger in the air of the master bedroom on chilly nights, then vanish just as quickly. They joked about a former resident's spirit, a romantic old woman who missed her home. But the jokes stopped when the small, inexplicable things began. A book would fall from the shelf with no one near it. A single antique teacup would shatter on the kitchen floor, even though it was miles away from the counter's edge. The house seemed to take a particular dislike to Mark. He would wake up with small, crescent-shaped scratches on his arms and back, thin red lines that looked like fingernail marks. He'd blame it on a rogue nail at work or a branch in the garden, but the marks kept appearing. One night, as he was sanding the old wood floors, a tool flew from his belt and hit him squarely in the head. He swore he saw it yanked away by an invisible force, but Sarah, who was in the other room, only heard the clatter and his cry of pain. The attacks grew bolder, more direct. During a late-night renovation session, Mark was working alone in the basement, rewiring a stubborn old fuse box. A bone-deep cold settled in the air, and the single work light above him began to flicker wildly. A whisper, not a voice but a hiss, slithered into his ear, so close he could feel the cold breath. "Get out!" Frozen in terror, he dropped his tools and backed away. That's when the first nail, then a second, shot from a wooden joist above, narrowly missing his head. He sprinted up the stairs, his heart a frantic drum against his ribs. Sarah, who was in the kitchen, found him pale and shaking, the fear in his eyes so raw that she couldn't deny it any longer. They decided to leave, just for a night, to clear their heads. As they were packing a few bags, a final horrifying event sealed their fate. Mark was grabbing his jacket from the closet when the door slammed shut and a sickening crunch echoed from inside. Sarah screamed and yanked the door open. There, pressed into the wall, was a perfectly clear handprint, seared into the plaster as if by immense heat. And in the center of the print, Mark's brand new jacket was torn to shreds, a single, deep slash across its back. They fled that night, not with a U-Haul full of possessions, but with a single suitcase and the clothes on their backs. They never looked back. The old stone house stands empty on the hill to this day. The locals have a name for it, the widow's house. They say a spirit dwells inside, a jealous and hateful thing that despises men and will not rest until it has driven every last one of them away. And for those who are brave or foolish enough to trespass, the scars it leaves are very, very real. Now, before we go, I want to say thank you to our supporters. Your support helps us make these videos, and we're very grateful for that. If you enjoyed this episode, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Also, check out our other content. You might find something else that you enjoy. Until next time, sleep tight.